Vape.
Delicious, delicious beer. Are we live? It looks like we're live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for putting up with our technical difficulties. This is another exciting episode of the Wrestling Exchange, not to be confused with the lost episodes, episodes 60 and 61, because goddamn complicated. Google Hangouts, all sorts of craziness. Let's get this started. My name is Ted, Trunk, hold on. As you have already guessed, that is my co-host. He is.
Oh, you didn't know? It is me, Papo. And you know I'm always rolling with that T-E-double-D. So my boys here's going to hit you with the disclaimers before we get balls deep into this show.
Balls deep. I can take it deep. I can dig it. Listen, just a couple of quick things. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Go to the Facebook page. So if you're enjoying at any point, like if we're making noise and words are coming out of my mouth hole and words are coming out of his mouth hole and you're enjoying any of the words that are coming out of our mouth holes respectively, click the like button. Or if you think we're just handsome, or if you like my new Kevin Owens t-shirt, new for me, maybe not new in general because it's been out for a while, go ahead and click the like button. Why not? It doesn't hurt. Don't be a pussy. Click the like button. Second thing is words, beer. Subscribe, right? As I mentioned, I've been trying to put up an episode for 3 weeks now, and I've just been having crazy difficulties with the Google Hangouts and all sorts of technical issues. But if you subscribed, you would get an email letting you know when we do put up a video if something like this does occur. So it's really important that you subscribe. It helps us out. It costs nothing to you. It's free. Don't be that guy that doesn't do free things. Come on, it's free. Excuse me. Now, like, subscribe, share. Social media, that's a thing. Post it on social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, stuff. Do that. Also, comment. We're going to talk about a few different things here, so just go ahead and tell us what you thought. What you think of me, what you think of my co-host, our beards, his lack of beard, my epic beard, or just what you thought about our particular commentary and our views on the matches and what's going to come forward. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Go to the Facebook page. It's in the link in the description box below, as well as the Patreon page. This, as I mentioned, so many technical difficulties, but if you enjoy what we do, please consider making a donation, even if it's like 50 cents, $1, or if you just can't, you can't. It's totally understandable. Money is tight this day and age. But if you can, that would prevent us from having to go through and jump through 16 different hoops just to do this for free on YouTube. Again, we do this for free because for the love of the game, essentially. All right, now, I think I covered all the basics, but we just have one last disclaimer left. Is that correct, Papo?
Yes, we do.
So, this is we call it the Wrestling Exchange, for those of you who don't know, because it's an exchange of ideas, right? It's an exchange of ideas. It's an exchange of conversation, words. I make words, he makes words. That's a thing. And what happens is it has a tendency to be very passionate between two wrestling fans. So sometimes bad words, specifically four-letter words, sexual innuendos, double entendres, those are kind of things that happen here. It's kind of part of the fabric. It's woven into the very essence of this show. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but my man has 2 words for you.
Mustache ride.
I hear you give a very good mustache ride.
I must say so myself.
No bragging, no bragging. So, full disclaimer, normally we review a full 3-hour set of Raw, Raw. However, I had issues, all sorts of issues, like I mentioned. So this is actually just going to be covering the 90-minute version of Raw on Hulu. So if there's anything I missed, go ahead and put that in the comment section down below. Papo, are you ready to get this ball rolling?
Let's do this.
Okay, so the show opens with the obligatory in-ring promo. It's Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. By the way, it's live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This will come into play later. Remember that it will be on test. They announced that both Undertaker and Brock will be in the same building later on in the show. Spoiler alert, nothing really comes of it. Or does it? They announced that Cena will take on Rollins, and he apparently he accepted the challenge on, was it Tough Enough? That's me
Oh,
asking you a question.
I have no idea. I don't watch Tough Enough.
It's because you're not tough enough? Pun?
No,
No?
I seen one of these Tough Enough recruits drop a championship belt to the bottom of a river, lake, canal, whatever you want to call it, and it royally pissed me off, and I just refused to watch it moving forward.
I watched Stone Cold intentionally throw a championship into the bottom of a river.
Oh,
Wasn't that the Rock's Intercontinental belt, right? You
I
like
think
threw it in the
so.
river,
I think so.
right? I don't know, attitude error. So, so they announced I think it was on Tough Enough that John Cena said that he would answer the call, and he would join Seth Rollins at the pay-per-view. So they announced that there's going to be a contract signing. That they announced later on the show we'll have Luke Harper versus Roman Reigns. We'll have, for the first time ever, Nikki Bella versus Sasha Banks in a one-on-one match. And, excuse me, what I think is the most interesting announcement here, the host of SummerSlam. Papo, how do you feel about Jon Stewart hosting this year's SummerSlam?
Jon Stewart is awesome. Funny guy, and he doesn't take shit from anybody. That's point blank. I mean, he's a bit scary at times, but again, he's quick to come back with the wit. So I'm actually excited to see Jon Stewart hosting SummerSlam. Big ups.
So, I forgot what I was going to say. Too many beers. Too many beers. Do you want to
Brain
talk any more
fart.
about that? Brain fart. Do you want to talk any more about that, or do you want to jump into the opening match, that tag match?
Let's get into the opening match.
So it's Orton and Cesaro versus Owens and Sheamus. Papo, if I'm not mistaken, we've seen this match at least once before in the past 2 weeks, on Raw specifically.
Well, they're actually intertwining these four into like all types of matches within the last 2 months. Triple threat match, a one-on-one, tag team. It's getting like quite where these guys should just get together and go bowling, dude.
Maybe they can bowl a turkey. What did you think about the outcome of this match? Because it ends with Orton hitting an RKO to Sheamus, and I know that you usually have a tendency to spot, no pun intended, miss spots. What did you think about how this match kind of played out? Because I noticed a couple of things where I usually don't see them, and I know that that's usually your forte.
Well, it was the match was. I wouldn't say the match was bad because there was a few here and there, but what sticks out the most is how when Orton went to go ahead and put the RKO on, who was it? Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
Reversed it and then turned it on Sheamus.
Yeah, it looked like it was supposed to be that spot where he goes for it and the guy pushes him off. So from what I saw, it looked like he was supposed to hit Owens, and Owens was supposed to push him off right into Sheamus and hit Sheamus. But when he did it to Owens, it kind of didn't work. Like, it ended up looking like he kind of gave him a stunner and then fucked up.
Yes.
What do you feel about Cesaro and Orton picking up the win here?
Well, you know about the Monday Night Curse. So it kind of looks like both of them may lose their match at SummerSlam.
Well, they looked pretty strong.
They did.
And this is the go-home show. This is the last show before SummerSlam. By the way, if I didn't mention it earlier, we're also going to get into the good, the bad, and the fugly, which is allegedly an award-winning segment. But after we do that, after our coverage of Raw, after the good, the bad, and the fugly, we're going to get into SummerSlam predictions. We're going to go through all the matches that have already been listed on WWE.com, and we're basically going to give our opinions about how it ends and who goes over. That really answered my question. The way you answered my next question, which was how this match ended would affect their matches at SummerSlam. Do you want to talk about the Undertaker video promo?
The Undertaker did a promo. All right, next segment.
Okay. Well, Seth Rollins decides to meet with Triple H and Stephanie backstage about his upcoming contract signing, and he talks about how his upcoming win over John Cena at SummerSlam will be historic, because he'll be the first man to ever simultaneously hold the World Championship or the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, as well as the U.S. title. and he basically he kind of suggests that they ought to build a statue of him to put among the likes of Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, and God, who was the other one? Wasn't there a third one? Definitely Hogan.
No, I don't know.
No. Well, there's a bunch of statues. He wants to be one, and they say that they'd be interested in doing it if he wins. Do you want to talk about Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns?
I think we should give him a taste of that.
Or do you want to keep talking about that statue talk?
Let's move on to the Luke Harper versus Roman Reigns match.
All right. Tell me what you think about this match, because it's Luke Harper, and he's got Bray Wyatt in his corner, and Roman versus Roman Reigns, and instead of having Dean Ambrose in his corner per se, Ambrose was on commentary. Papo, I'd like you to basically break down what you thought of the match, and then also how you enjoyed or did not enjoy. What did you think about Ambrose on commentary, as well as the match itself?
Well, going backwards on your question, with Dean Ambrose on commentary, he was highly entertaining. I mean, he was reinforcing those bonds between him and Roman Reigns, and then talking crap about Wyatt, just sitting there off to the side. Not in the, he actually was in the corner, just sitting there, just watching the match. And throughout the whole match, Ambrose just talked crap about him, but also he gave respect to Luke Harper, mentioning that he's a big guy and he's someone not to sleep on. So, segueing into the match, it was actually a solid match. Roman Reigns actually looked really good. I mean, I didn't notice any missed spots per se. I could be wrong, but let me tell you, Luke Harper was a beast in this match. I mean, this had to be one of the best matches that I've seen him in lately.
Are you speaking of Harper or Reigns when you say that?
Harper.
Is that because we haven't really seen Harper have a match in like fucking goddamn like months?
Well, even back in those months, he didn't look as good as he did on Raw.
So I'm going to tell you something that you're probably going to be surprised to hear. I really didn't care about this match, and it's not that the match wasn't good, but I kind of felt like Ambrose was so good on commentary. I didn't have to watch the match. Is that something that WWE ought to be concerned about? Like, he was just so good on commentary. To me, it felt like I didn't really need to watch the match because the match was kind of like an afterthought to how Ambrose was putting over his bond with Reigns and how much he can't wait to fucking beat the shit out of Bray Wyatt. Did the match suffer, or am I just a crazy person?
You're just a crazy person. The match was actually quite decent, but you do have a point with Ambrose on that mic. He killed it. He killed it.
So, is it safe to say that Ambrose outshined or outshone the match just by a little bit, at the very least?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with that.
So, in the end, Roman Reigns and Luke Harper kind of go into a nice little sequence. Roman Reigns catches Luke Harper with a Superman punch that stuns him just long enough for Roman Reigns to pick up the win with the spear. Are you surprised that there was no aftermath? Like that the match just ended and everybody went their separate ways, that there wasn't some sort of a bedlam or brawl that broke out?
It was quite surprising, but they put on a good match. So, I mean, it would have just been icing on the cake.
So, what I'd like to do, if you're okay with it, is I'd like to roll right into the next match. And again, people keep in mind that this is the Hulu Plus version. So, if there are other matches that I've missed, why don't you go ahead in the comment section down below and tell me what I missed, and then maybe we'll get to them, or not. I don't know. I've been drinking, so deal with that. Rusev with Hot Summer versus Mark Henry, with Lana sitting in on commentary. 2 questions. Was it worth it to have Lana sit on commentary?
It was, but then it wasn't because she didn't say anything.
And that's exactly how I felt about it. Second question. Are you tired of watching Mark Henry job mercilessly to Rusev.
Lord, yes. I am so sick of seeing Mark Henry get beat down from this guy. He should join the New Day.
Dude, stop it. Don't fuck with my heart. Don't fuck with my heart. Listen, when Mark Henry comes out, I want somebody to get their ass whipped. I want someone to get their wig split. And Mark Henry got his own wig split, apparently. Yeah, no, I hate it. Especially when he comes out and he waves the American flag like, hey, look, I'm the great patriotic guy, and I'm going to get my ass whooped anyway. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So, I mean, it started off really nice. It started off really aggressive, and then like that faded quickly. Eventually, Mark Henry does tap out the accolade. And what's important about this match is not actually what happens from bell to bell. It's actually what happens afterwards. So after the match, Lana gets in the ring and calls out Hot Summer and slaps the shit out of her. Was that a work slap, or was that was that a really good working slap where it may not have hurt her, or are you like me and you think that she really fucking went balls deep and just slapped the fuck out of her?
I think she stiffed her big time.
I'd like to stiff either one of them. So she slaps her in the... So then Lana does something really badass here. She calls out Rusev, right? And the whole time when she's calling out Summer, Rusev's like, get in the ring. And then Summer's about to go run at Lana. And did you notice that Rusev told her to take off the shoes? Like, he's like, take off your shoes, bitch. I love it. I love Rusev. He's my favorite. So Rusev finally gets in the ring, and him and Lana kind of have this moment where Lana starts backing up and backing up and backing up, and she does this bit where she kind of looks over Rusev's shoulder like, Dolph, you're missing your cue. Hey, Dolph. Yeah. And then, Dolph Ziggler comes out, and it's what's his catchphrase? It's too bad I'm that damn good, right?
Some shit like that.
Some shit like that. Spirit Squad. Nikki! Rusev, Dolph Ziggler comes in the ring, and him and Rusev go at it for a few seconds, and then he's about to super kick Rusev when the Bulgarian grabs Hot Summer and hides behind her, a la Macho Man hiding behind Miss Elizabeth. Now I love this, right? There's nothing that you can get heel heat more, in my opinion, than hiding behind a woman. What did you think what was going through your mind when Rusev hid behind Hot Summer?
I mean, it was to be expected with the heel fashion. So it fit the bit. But lo and behold, we get a surprise. We have Lana kicking Hot Summer in the face.
Dude, that was pretty impressive. It was almost kind of like what was Trish's move for a while? What was it? The chick kick, right? It was that kind of like really weird roundhouse kick to the face. Do you remember that at all?
I do remember, but I don't remember the name. I remember
because well, you know what? I that was the name in the video games for the move, so maybe she didn't actually have a name. But it looked like she kicked her on the side of the face. Was it just the camera angle, or was that? Did I see this? Did I see correctly?
She got kicked in the side of her face. I believe she got stiffed on that one too.
Stiff. I'd love to stiff Lana. So, let's see, where were we? Rusev hides behind Summer, and Dolph. Oh, that's the part. So it's not just that Rusev hides behind Summer, is that he hides behind Summer as Ziggler has already kind of like thrown his leg up, and like he's able to pull it back just in time. And then Lana kicks the shit out of Summer, like you said, and then Ziggler super kicks Rusev, and everybody goes home happy. What if we modified this segment just a little bit? How would you have felt if Dolph wasn't able to pull back his kick and kick Summer in the face? Kind of like Chris Jericho punching Shawn Michaels' wife in the face. What would you think about that?
Dude, if that were to happen, I would laugh so hard.
Do you think the crowd would pop? Because they hate Summer?
Yes.
They hate Rusev, and therefore they hate Summer? Or do you think they'd be upset?
There'd be a lot of people upset, but then a lot of people would pop for that, for real.
I think it would add an extra layer to the story. I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm a Chris Brown fan. Love kicking women in the face. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Moving on. JoJo backstage interviews Lana and Dolph. What do you think about JoJo as a backstage interviewer?
She's a cute little thing. She can
Oh,
do
she
it.
is, isn't she?
She's only, I heard she's only like 5'3" or something like that.
Dude, she's so tiny. So she interviews Lana and Dolph. Ziggler asks for a match against Rusev for Sunday because fuck it, why not? SummerSlam's going to be 4 hours. And that's a thing. Up next, we get the SummerSlam contract signing, the champion versus champion winner-take-all match with Seth Rollins, the WWE World Heavyweight champion, versus John Cena, the U.S. champion. Obviously, this was a long-winded segment, a lot of talking, a lot of Rollins making words, not a lot of talking out of Cena. I mean, you did get a good bit of talking, but not ad nauseum. Papo, before we get into what Cena said, what did you think about Seth Rollins and how he approached his position as the champion, the real champion, going into this match and the contract signing?
Very pompous, very arrogant, but I'm more, how should I say, got enthralled with what Cena had to say.
Okay, good, because I felt the same way, and I did want to get into this. So sometimes people give Cena has kind of a reputation for having a tendency of saying the same thing over and over again, and he definitely does, right? I mean, 8 out of every 10 John Cena promos is the same promo, right? I'm the face that runs the place, and the champ is her. Want some, calm guys.
Apple
Right, it's a lot of same old, right? Here, though, Cena did what Cena does best, and that's, like, serious Cena. If you had to pick, of all the versions of Cena, do you like the poopy potty humor, stupid Photoshop segment Cena, or do you like fucking serious, ready to kick some ass John Cena?
Ruthless aggression.
Oh, shit. So John Cena basically goes on to say that what's happening here is that Triple H, Ric Flair was the mentor to Triple H, right? And that Triple H in turn is being a mentor to Seth Rollins, even bestowing upon Rollins, bequeathing his finisher, the pedigree. And but he did kind of make a kind of drew a lot of demarcation, if you will. He basically said that, look, the difference between Triple H and Ric Flair is that Triple H was never Ric Flair's bitch. He said my favorite part, he's like, but on Sunday, I'm going to make you mine. What did you think about... Yeah, boom, drop the mic. What did you think about that? Because when Cena gets serious, damn, he's got to be one of the best promos out there, right?
For real. I mean, it was an awesome pop for that. He said, on Sunday, I'm going to make you my bitch. Signed the contract and walked out. I mean, I was waiting for something, a table to throw up or somebody gets slapped by Stephanie or whatever the case may be, but surprisingly, he signed it and walked out. So.
And you know what? To me, that was my favorite part, that there wasn't like a skirmish at the end, that Cena just signed the contract and then left, and we didn't get because every contract signing in WWE, specifically non-NXT WWE, always ends in like a kerfluffle, for lack of a better word. And I know, right? I love that word.
Shut your kerfluffle.
But it didn't do that, right? And I think the fact that it didn't do that made it special because it's different than what we see. Suck my kerfluffle. It made it different, right? And like I always say, almost every time, without fail, 99 times out of 100, different is usually good. So in the end, were we pleased with this as a contract signing? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up, definitely. Definitely thumbs up. Definitely thumbs up.
Speaking of thumbs up, we get Sasha Banks versus Nikki Bella, and it's no secret. I am a really, really big Sasha Banks fan. In fact, I think my next shirt is going to be a Sasha Banks shirt. Papa, what do you think about Sasha Banks?
the cousin of Snoop Dogg. I mean, this girl's body is banging, and she's just so feral in that ring. She is like awesome.
Okay.
She can put
Is
on
she
definitely
like a boss?
like a boss. Nice.
Yeah, I see what I did there. Yeah, man. She's my favorite. Did you think, because this is Sasha Banks versus Nikki Bella, do you think, who looked better in this match? Sasha Banks or Nikki Bella?
Sasha Banks.
Dude, she's the
Sasha
best.
Banks.
And she has really good theme music, too. I can't state that enough. I really dig her theme music. What do you think about it?
It's solid. It's better than that. Than what's her face's Naomi's.
Which one's Naomi's again? I'm amazing. I'm amazing. That one?
Thank you for ruining my night, dude.
Listen, I could gush over Sasha Banks for the rest of the day, and this could be the Sasha Banks show. I really don't want that because there are other stuff we get into. We still have to get into the good, the bad, and fugly. We still have to get into our SummerSlam predictions. So what I'd like to do is quickly talk about this match and how much this crowd can suck a big fat dick. What did you think about the match itself?
The match was awesome. The match itself was awesome. I mean, usually when you see any of the Bellas, you expect to see some sort of miss spot somewhere. But let me tell you, Sasha, she puts it on. Sasha, she made Nikki look clean.
What did you think about Nikki Bella tapping out to the bank statement?
Doesn't that put her in the #1 contender spot?
Well, you and I have talked about this before. Logically, yes, but the WWE doesn't understand the concept of a #1 contender. So yeah, like I couldn't tell you how many times you and I have talked about it, where someone has a singles victory over a champion and ought to be the #1 contender, and Michael Cole was like, maybe they'll be the #1 contender, and it's like you're on your couch and you're like, no, fucking idiot. That makes them the #1 contender. That's how this shit works. That's why we need an active power ranking system. I very much advocate for a ranking system. And then especially if someone gets hurt, right? Like let's say the #1 contender gets hurt, instead of having to conjure up a storyline, you can just be like, well, if you go to WWE.com, you can see the next person in the ranking is blah blah. And you know what I mean? It's just it's I don't understand how they don't do that. So Sasha's great. Nikki's good. The match was great. I have to talk about how much I hated this fucking crowd because they had the fucking gall to chant, "We want Lesnar," which is understandable because, they knew Lesnar was coming. And I think this was the last match on the show. And then they fucking chanted JBL. This crowd, for this particular match anyway, seemed to be ungrateful motherfuckers. Do you agree?
Yes and no. I mean, when the crowd is live, the crowd is live. Whether they chant what we want to hear, whether they chant what we don't want to hear, as long as the crowd is live, that's what makes the difference within a good show.
Am I just being butthurt because I'm such a big Sasha Banks mark?
Yeah. Next time, use Vaseline and get your thumb out your ass.
Oh. Hey, which thumb was it? It could have been.
Smell them both.
I don't know. So, now again, I watched the Hulu Plus version, right? The special 90-minute edition. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this would have been the main event match, right?
Actually, there was a tag team match in there.
What was that?
I believe it was the Primetime Players with the Lucha Dragons against the New Day and El Matadores.
Wow,
And
what
let
a
me tell
dumb
you,
way to...
It was a sloppy match. I mean, everybody looked horrible, and what I did was play Candy Crush, so I couldn't even tell you who won that.
That just seems like a terrible decision. Like these 4 teams are already going to be at the pay-per-view. Why hotshot it? Like why ruin what we could see once by making us see it twice, and where some things might not be as fresh or interesting. Speaking of fresh and interesting, let's talk about the Brock Lesnar homecoming segment, again in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So Paul Heyman comes out, introduces the Beast Incarnate. Not surprisingly, he receives a hero's welcome. Surprisingly, though, Papo, did you notice that Brock was acting particularly unusually babyface in the sense that, like, when he came to the ring, instead of coming to the bottom of the ramp and getting in the ring, he went around the ring and then slapped hands with a fan or two, and then seemed to be, instead of indifferent to the fans, was actually enjoying the interaction between himself and the fans. Did you notice this?
Yes, I did. But
Is this
again, Minneapolis, Minnesota, yo, it's to be expected, especially with Brock Lesnar.
So Paul Heyman sings his own version, his modified version of, I believe it's called the Battle Hymn of the Republic, right? Where he's like, "My eyes have seen the coming of the Conqueror, the Beast. Brock Lesnar has a penis, and it's really fucking huge." Something along the lines of that. And then they do the bit where the lights go down, and the lights come up, and Sabu is, wait, no.
Yeah.
I'm being told Sabu was not in the ring. So the lights go down. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Every time they do that in WWE, since they stole that from ECW, I really just, one of these days, I want Sabu to be in the ring. Not that I'm a Sabu fan by any stretch of the imagination.
I am.
But it was funny to me. Dude, Sabu's terrible. I'm sorry. Like, I can't. Sabu's terrible. Like, there are some, like, bright spots, but, like, man, if you go back and watch a lot of Sabu matches, like, unless they're heavily edited, they're kind of bad. They're kind of like Botch City. Not that I could do better, because I can't. And I'm not the nephew of the original Sheik. Was he the nephew, right?
Yes.
He was a nephew. I'm going to go with nephew. So the lights go down. There's a gong. The lights come back. No Undertaker. Now, when this happened, did you think that Brock Lesnar and Heyman were just having fun with us, or was this an attempt at Undertaker to play some mind games?
I think it was them just playing mind games.
So the lights go down, come back on. Brock and Heyman are clearly not scared. Heyman goes on to remind us that The Undertaker has never, ever, 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 ever actually defeated Brock Lesnar. And you know what? I think he's right. I don't think Undertaker has ever beaten Brock Lesnar in a one-on-one match.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, I mean, I know I'm right, but I only know I'm right because Paul Heyman's going to take his word for it because he's the fucking David Koresh Pro Wrestling. So then, once he reminds us of that, the lights go down and there's 2 more gongs. So we get a total of 3 gongs, the lights come back on, and holy balls, it's The Undertaker. And speaking of holy balls, he kicks Brock in the dick again. And then...
Nut shot!
choke slams Brock and then hits him with a tombstone pile driver. There's a couple of things I wanted to break down here. So this is the second time Undertaker has met Brock in the ring. Like, Brock was already in the ring and the Undertaker showed up. Once at Battleground and once here. Now, the first time Undertaker kicked Brock in the nuts, kicked him in the dick. To me, I chalked it up as, well, you know what, the Undertaker is desperate and he's going to do whatever he needs. This time he kicked him in the dick again. Being that Brock is in his hometown, and he was kind of portrayed specifically as a babyface in this particular segment, and then Undertaker kicks him in the dick again, are we getting a heel Undertaker?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's a total grudge match now.
Is Undertaker kicking Brock in the dick for a higher power?
He's kicking Brock in the dick for redemption.
Just so someone could come out and be like, it was me, Brock. It was me all along. So for redemption, right? Dick kicks for redemption, hashtag. Or hashtag dick kick redemption. Sounds like a video game. So then he hits him with dick kick, choke slam, tombstone pile driver. Now here's what I found interesting. There were a lot of, I mean, in the end, when Taker posed, right, he did his obligatory Taker pose, there were a lot of cheers. But before he did that, Papo, if I'm not mistaken, there were a lot of boos in the audience. A lot of people were not happy that The Undertaker had the gall to dick kick the Beast Incarnate.
Hometown boy gets kicked in the dick. It's to be expected, especially from that crowd.
Somebody should tell them that he's actually from South Dakota and not from Minneapolis, Minnesota. What? Penis? What? Papo.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm drunk. All right, so let's talk about the award-winning segment. So actually, a couple of quick quotes. If you made it this far, congratulations. You've got a golden ticket. You've got a golden twinkle in your eye. As the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie would indicate, that you never thought that you would see Over the Hills in Ecstasy because you've got a golden ticket. You made it. Congratulations. You are the best. Good on you. You're awesome, and you have a big dick. So if you did make it this far, a couple of quick things. I'm going to reiterate a couple of quick things, and then we'll move on. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Go to the Facebook page. Go to the Patreon page. Patreon.com/Ted and Papo. I put it in the link below. Don't be a lazy fuck. Go there. And if you are interested in making a donation, if you want to help us out so that way we don't encounter mass technical difficulties. Papo, ¿cómo se dice more technical difficulties?
More technical difficulties.
That's lazy. So if you want to help us out with that, great. If not, whatever. Haters gonna hate. Let's see. Oh, you know what? We have a Twitter page. We have a Twitter account, whatever it is. I'm so out of touch. Show me how Twitter works. Go to twitter.com, Ted and Papo, and hashtag, I don't know. That being said, what we're going to do right now is we're going to get into what's called the good, the bad, and the fugly, where Papo and I personally give what we feel is our good, our bad, and fugly individually about what we thought about Raw. After that, immediately following that, which is just going to be a few moments, we're going to talk about our predictions for 2015 SummerSlam. We're basically going to lay out all the matches. We're going to talk about how we think they're going to end and who we think wins. So with that being said, Papo, let's get into the good, the bad, the fugly. You, sir, hit me with your good.
My good was the Sasha Banks match. She moved so good in that ring.
She moves well in the ring. Not good.
Fuck that. She moves good. She moves real good in that ring. My bad was that audience during that match. How they were chanting JBL, etc., etc. So my fugly was the 4-on-4 tag team match with the Primetime Players, with the Lucha Dragons versus the New Day and Los Matadores. It just couldn't hold an ounce of piss, for real.
They shit the bed?
They shit the bed.
So my good is, I'm going to agree with you. Actually, no, I'm going to go a little bit different. The contract signing, right? To me, that was a real high point because, again, it's one of the few times where WWE doesn't do the same old shit and have everybody fight at the end. So I really, really, really liked that Rollins promo, Cena's promo, and then at the end, Cena just basically signed it and walked off like a boss and then told Rollins that he was going to make him his bitch. My bad is, where was it? I had it right here on my notes. Yeah, that Mark Henry just jobbed the fuck out to Rusev. Like, there are other people on the roster. Like, Mark Henry is legitimately the world's strongest man. At least freshen it up. Like, bring Swagger back, right? Let Swagger job out again. I haven't seen that in a while. My fugly, it's a toss-up. I'm cheating here. Half of it is the crowd in the Sasha Banks match, but half of it is how they structured the Undertaker and Lesnar feud, in the sense that this night, the go-home show, that's when they should have done the pull-apart brawl, because it was the best thing that we've seen in a long time. I feel like doing the dick kick, chokeslam, tombstone at Battleground, then the next night doing the pull-apart brawl, and then 3 weeks later, wash, rinse, repeat of the end of Battleground just seems kind of weak to me. It just seems like they could have done a lot better had they actually had a plan in mind and saved the pull-apart. Because how much better would it have been, Papo, if that pull-apart brawl was on this episode of Raw and not 3 weeks ago?
Actually, it would actually give it more of a pop and more anticipation to the crowd. So
right.
I'm in total agreement with you.
Because the whole point of a go-home show is to entice those people who maybe weren't originally going to part with their hard-earned money to buy the pay-per-view to buy the pay-per-view. So if you end that last Raw before the pay-per-view, Brock Lesnar's like, I'm going to fucking kill you, and The Undertaker's like, you're going to have to. You know, goddamn, that would put asses in seats, one every 18 inches, and sell tickets. But what do I know? I've only been watching wrestling for fucking 30 years. All right, that being said, now, it's time. It's time. It's Vader. Wait. Excuse me. No, it's predictions time. I'm just being told now that it is not Vader time. It is predictions time. Cue sound effect. And if you go to patreon.com/TedandPapo, maybe we can get some actual fucking sound effects and not look like a bunch of drunken amateurs. So I listed this in the way that I see the particular order of the matches, although I think one is going to go earlier on the night. So we're just going to run through the matches, how we think they're going to end, who's going to win. So let's start with Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. Papo, who you got going over in this match? Who wins, Ziggler or Rusev?
Well, right now the face is Ziggler, and I'm gonna run with that with Ziggler.
I agree. I think Ziggler needs the win coming off an injury, and Rusev's at a point now where he doesn't have to win this match. Ziggler has to win this match, given that Rusev just beat the bejesus out of him. Kevin Owens versus Cesaro.
I'm going with Kevin Owens.
We're 2 for 2. I'm in complete agreement with you. Cesaro doesn't need to win this match. Owens needs to win this match, especially since the night before he's going to be at NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center, and he's gonna lose to Finn Balor. I think he definitely needs a win here. Cesaro doesn't need it. Owens does. Oh, that's what was my fugly, was the fact that we're going to see Sheamus versus Randy Orton at the pay-per-view. Papo, what's your prediction?
I'm giving it to Randy Orton.
I agree. I'm going to see Randy Orton. Now, Ambrose and Reigns versus Harper and Wyatt.
Wow, that's a good one. I want to say Ambrose and Reigns, but I got a feeling that Harper and Wyatt are going to sneak one out on these two.
Goddamn. You and I are... Wow, I can't believe we're on the same page so far. I say we might even see the debut of a new Wyatt family member.
That'd be
or
awesome.
At the very least, the return of Eric Rowan.
Big Riz.
It's terrible. This leads us to the Intercontinental title match. Big Show versus Miz versus Ryback. Papo, who you got? Who you got winning this match?
Ryback retains.
Wow. I'm scared. You and I are rarely in agreement this evenly. Goodness, we've been through, this is 5-6 matches so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 matches, and we're in agreement over the outcome. I'm terrified. Oh, man. Whew. Yeah, no, Ryback retains. All right, tag team title 4-way match. Primetime players as the champions versus New Day versus Los Matadores versus Lucha Dragons. Who you got?
This is kind of tough, but I'm gonna go players retain.
I'm gonna go with New Day. Don't ask me why. I don't even have a legitimate reason. I just have a strong feeling that New Day is going to win, because we know Los Matadores aren't going to win. And as much as I'd love to see Lucha Dragons win the title, I feel at this point that Kalisto would probably be better off as a singles competitor, because him teaming with Sin Cara or Sin Hunico isn't doing him any favors. Next we have Stephen Amell and Neville versus Stardust and King Barrett. Papo, what do you got here?
I'm going with Stephen Amell and Neville just because they're hyping it up for the Green Arrow and the Red Arrow.
By the way,
So
did you see
I
he
believe the.
fucked up his face?
Say what?
He fucked up his face. Stephen Amell. He was lifting weights, and apparently he doesn't lift. He don't lift weights good, and he smacked himself in the face and broke his jaw with the barbell. I'm not even kidding. This is a real thing.
I must have to look that up.
Go on that internet machine. All right, so this is tricky. This is the Triple Threat 9 Ways Diva Tag Match. Now, it's Team Bella versus Team Bad versus Team Paige, Charlotte, and Bayley. Excuse me, it's Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. Is it going to be, because it's going to be 4 hours, is it going to be a deal where if one member of the team loses, the whole team gets eliminated? Or does it have to be each individual person?
I think if one person gets pinned or submits, the whole team is eliminated.
All right, who you got winning this match? Or what team, rather?
I want to say Team Bad, but I'm going to have to go with Team PCB.
Yep, I'm in total agreement with you. I don't think Team Bella needs to win. I don't think Team Bad needs to win. I think Team PCB gets to win here, and then they can lose in the upcoming weeks. And it's not big of an issue because they did win this match. Then we have the champion versus champion winner-take-all title match. Cena as the U.S. champion versus Rollins as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. This is tough for me. This literally, no joke, kind of kept me up last night because I was trying to think this through, and I'm very difficult. Papo, what do you think about this match? Because there's a lot of implications here. Who do you think wins?
Well, thinking of the match logically, Cena already has wins over Seth Rollins since Seth Rollins came on the scene. So, I mean, I want to say John Cena, but I got a feeling, I got this feeling that Seth Rollins is going to sneak the win.
Man, see, this hurts me, right? Because I'm going to get into spoiler territory. Not spoiler, but for the next match, Brock versus Undertaker, I don't think there is a finish. And I'll go into detail. But I don't think either guy really wins, per se. And this particular match, you can't have two matches back-to-back where there's no actual winner. And I think that this is the one that would need a winner. So either Cena wins by like disqualification or by countout in a way that he wins, but doesn't win the title, doesn't win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, like by countout or disqualification, where like he wins but the title doesn't change hands. I really see John Cena winning in some capacity, but not necessarily walking out with the title. Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker. I have my own crazy theory on this one. Why don't you tell us who you think wins this match, and then I'll get into mine.
Well, I thought about this match since WrestleMania last year. I really do see The Undertaker winning, but no, I'm gonna have to go with Lesnar. But if
Lesnar winning clean, like Lesnar pinning The Undertaker in the middle of the ring. That's what you're saying, right?
I see Lesnar winning the match. As for how he wins the match, understanding that The Undertaker is out for revenge, that's all it is. It's just going to be The Undertaker. I believe he may lose through maybe a disqualification.
You think that maybe beating up Lesnar would be more important than actually beating him in a match? Like,
yes.
Injuring him would be more important than being victorious.
Correct.
I'm going to go out on a wacky limb here. I'm going to say neither guy definitively wins. I'm going to say Sting interferes and attacks the Undertaker. And that way, technically, the Undertaker has a win, unless they consider it a no contest. And that sets up Undertaker versus Sting for WrestleMania. And then maybe, just maybe, Undertaker versus Brock at WrestleMania 33. And then you get the rubber match. But I guess they really don't even need the rubber. Yeah, I'm going to say Sting interferes. I sat up late at night and I couldn't wrap my head around, because look, if Brock Lesnar wins, then that means that the Undertaker returning is pointless, right? Yes, he started the streak again, right? He beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, and they've been hammering home the point that Brock Lesnar has never lost to the Undertaker. But if the Undertaker wins, like cleanly, then that means that they're going to have to go to a rubber match, or at the very least, there's going to be an unresolved stuff, right? And if he's like in his perfect form at WrestleMania, and if he can't get the job done at WrestleMania, but can get it done at SummerSlam, it's not like they're going to start a SummerSlam streak, you know. I feel like the only way out of this, creatively, is to bring in Sting, and so that way you can because it feels to me like they wrote themselves into a corner. So if you bring in Sting, then you don't have to have the actual one guy losing, one guy winning, and then you can introduce the idea of Sting versus Undertaker. Maybe Sting interferes and then points to the WrestleMania sign, and that's all you need. And then 6 months ahead, 7 months, 8 months ahead, we know that at the very least one of these matches to buy tickets to WrestleMania is going to definitely be Sting versus Undertaker. That's how I see it. And then maybe you do like a double retirement match. I don't know. But Papo, if I'm not mistaken, I'm tired of talking, you're tired of talking, and we have nothing left to talk about.
Pizza time.
Pizza time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Papo, why don't you tell these people how much you love them and how much you can't wait to see them again, and say goodbye.
Oh, yeah, all the stuff that he just said, I'm repeating. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm out of here. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, whatever, drunk. Like the video, comment, share, go to the Facebook page, talk to us on Twitter, go to Ted and Papo at whatever the fuck that website is, not Instagram. What is it?
Facebook.
Patreon. It's all the link in the description box below. Do it. I did the legwork for you. Ladies and gentlemen, it was me, Austin. It was me all along. Good night, everybody.